All right, so after ruling out a possible fuel issue with this tractor, we've replaced the fuel tank with a good used one that's been acid cleaned. We've replaced the fuel lines, and the carburetor has been gone through by a professional. Good fuel to the carb. The tractor's still running, starting and running for about 30 to 45 seconds, and then it just quits as if you shut the key off, as you saw in that video. So all I can suspect is that it's either the ignition coil, or it could possibly be the condenser right here. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, a condenser is either it'll run or it won't. But I really have a good hunch that that condenser is possibly bad and causing it to run just for a few seconds and then it fails. So I'm at a loss on what else to try. When it's a coil, the tractor will usually run for a good while until the coil gets hot, and then it'll stop. And once the coil cools off, then it'll start again. But this tractor will start right back up instantly, which leads me to believe that it's not the coil. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this condenser out, and then we're gonna go see if a new one will fix it. Okay, so I've replaced the points condenser. The tank's been cleaned, flushed and cleaned. New fuel line from the tank fitting all the way to the carburetor. The carburetor's been rebuilt and checked twice, cleaned and checked twice. Inline spark checker over here. And you can see there's the inline spark tester on the number one plug. It's got spark all the way up until it dies, and it acts like it's a fuel issue because when it's starting to die, you can pull the choke and it'll take off running. But everything's been checked good. I've bypassed the switch to the coil, and with a jumper wire, that's not it. So next thing to do, I'm gonna take this fuel line loose, rubber hose loose. I'm gonna let that gas out of the tank drain into the bucket, and I'm gonna stand here and watch it to make sure it's a full flow until it drains out. I did check it earlier, but I didn't let it drain very long. So I'm not sure what else to check. The coil has not been changed, but the coil does not get hot. It doesn't even get warm because this thing will start up and run for about 30 to 40 seconds and then die. So it's not running until the coil gets hot. So that can't be it. Anyway, let's take the fuel line loose and let's see what happens there. I also want to mention that I took the fuel cap off to rule out the possibility of it creating an airlock with the plugged vent in the fuel cap. but that's not an issue either. As you can see, we have full flow from the tank. Steady and constant, no interruptions. No trash. The carburetor was actually ran on another tractor and performed flawlessly. So we know that's not the issue there. And this gas is fresh gas. It was pumped about a week ago. All right, rather than emptying out the whole tank, I feel like that's enough. That's 3 to 4 inches of fuel in this 5-gallon bucket. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook the fuel back up. There's really no need in going any further. Any ideas, suggestions, please tell me. I'm really frustrated with this one. Never had one act up like this and just do crazy things to where it quits running. And acts like it's not getting any gas, but everything has been cleaned and checked. You know, all the hoses, the fittings are new. I even replaced this rubber hose thinking a piece on the inside was shutting it off that may have come loose, you know, by vacuum, but it's not the hose either. So. And I'm not going to hook my sediment bowl up until I figure out what exactly is wrong. So, I also wanted to mention that all the wiring has been redone on the tractor. I've went across this wiring and verified there are no skint places, no rub marks, no breaks, no corrosion. So 1-wire alternator, 12-volt alternator. Looks like they've got 14, 16 gauge wire running everywhere, even on the 1-wire on the alternator there. Usually I think that's 10, 12 gauge for that wire. But they've got this running throughout the whole tractor on both sides. So it does have new wiring. I verified all these connections are clean and tight. All the connections over here, it's just the 1-wire. It's clean and tight, which the tractor charges well. Then I went up here in the switches. I don't know if you can see or not, but I went and verified that everything was clean and tight and had a good connection. I actually fixed the front and rear lights while I was at it. Put them on the same terminal because someone had wired them up incorrectly. So everything is good and tight, and I just wired it back the way they had it. Your 12 volt does go through the light switch there. That toggle is your on and off for the points. It works well. I verified it with a multimeter. But the 12 volt batteries coming off that fuse going to the light switch. And that light switch, it's ran there, goes back to your switch for the points. I don't know if that matters, but just wanted to show you that. Got the carburetor hooked back up. Got about 2 inches of gas in the tank. Let's see what it'll do. See, it died. Didn't touch anything. I'm gonna start it right back up and let's see if I'll show you how it just crank right back up. No choke, nothing. It just started right back up. But this time when it dies, I'm gonna pull the choke. See there? Pull the choke and it's still running. Like it's starving for fuel. Checker is working. It has constant spark. You may see otherwise, and that's just probably the shutter on the camera. Let's push in the choke and see what happens. There you have it. It acts like it's not getting any gas. Yet we've removed the carburetor and tested it on a different tractor. Runs that tractor great for 5 minutes. The tank has full flow out of the line. I'm at a loss, so let me know what you think.